This is the third in its series, so it's the third book. And I have so much fun writing them. And I should really spend lots of time, but I literally spend 2 weeks at home completely engrossed in writing these stories. Oh. It's so much fun. So it's a combination of stories that have recipes that go alongside them and crafts.
It's great. It's really good. And your kids are in here too. Not all of them.
No. In the last 2 books, it made me really, really sad, because in the last 2 books, we had all 3 kids. And this time, my eldest has gone off to high school. And he just said, Mummy, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I think I'm not going to be in this book. And I said, OK, OK, fine. It's OK. I'm not hurt at all. I cried a little bit, I have to say. So I dedicated the book to him.
Oh, that's lovely. So he's there, really?
He is.
I get that. Maybe he's thinking, oh, it's not cool.
Well,
I'm at big school.
Do you know what? He's at big school. I get that. You know,
do too. I think it's lovely you've got that relationship with him, that he can actually see that to you.
He can, and I always say to him, look, I'm new at doing this whole parenting thing, and you're new at being a child. So, like, can we just get things wrong together? And he's like,
absolutely. Yeah, I think that works really well. You were saying you've been married, what, 13 years?
Yeah.
You don't fight, you don't argue.
No, we don't.
That's great.
In the 13 years, we've never had full-blown shouting arguments ever.
So how do you do that?
I mean, we disagree on things, but we're 2 very different people. We're really different, but we don't argue, and I think it's partly because he's quite patient. Like, I want to argue sometimes. I'm like, come on, let's have it.
But it's impossible if the other person's not going to do it.
He just doesn't. He's just like, OK, I'm just going to leave now. And then he just walks away, and that makes me want to argue with him.
Yeah, I know, that's a really good tactic.
He doesn't.
And you share the work, but not always 50-50. It just kind of works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually. I do know what you mean.
When I first got married, somebody said to me, it's for half and half, 50-50. And actually, really early on, I realised that in any relationship, somebody's always putting in more. And at the very beginning, you know, first 2, 3... definitely the first 8 years, you know, he has this amazing career, and he went off and did some amazing things. And I was at home, and I was kind of, while he had a career, I was looking after the children and the home, and I definitely felt like I put in a lot more than he did. Yeah. But right now, it's kind of, it goes between sort of 60, 40, and we just kind of, it changes. And I think if you're always striving for half and half, that's where you fight. And I just think we never have half and half.
I know what you mean, because sometimes, some days or some weeks, you'll be doing more, he'll be doing less, and it just kind of balances itself out. Is he very, very, very supportive of what you do? Because I don't know that you could do what you do without that.
No, I mean, I think if he didn't support me, then I would not be here right now. I mean, he gets to look after the kids, so I'm definitely putting less into the relationship right now.
But that'll change. That's the thing. That's the way it'll change.
I mean, it might not.
Yeah. There's huge affection for you, because obviously we really felt as if we got to know you during Bake Off, and you were so emotional, and you were so kind of... there was nothing hidden there. There you were.
Yeah.
That was you. The kind of reaction you get when you're out and about, it must be sometimes quite overwhelming.
It is. It's really odd, because when I kind of almost... People come up to me and say, oh, my goodness, and come and give me a hug. And I'm like, where do I know you from? And then I realise, oh, I get it. But you can't really... You know, they're like, they don't want to say it and I don't want to say it, so we have these really weird, coy moments. But, you know, I can't believe it's 3 years. Can you believe?
I can't either. It's crazy.
It's 3 years and I'm still here, and it's just nobody's worked out that I'm not supposed to be here, so I'm still doing it.
I've got that terrible thing as well. You think somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "We found you out.
Yeah.
You'll have to leave now."
Well, when I won Bake Off, I handed the trophy back to Paul and I said, "Are you sure you haven't made a mistake? Like, if he turned up now and tried to take my trophy, he's not having it."
No way. No, absolutely no way. You've also been really open about things like it's something that so many people suffer with. Like, you get anxious and you get worried, and you've got your ways of dealing with that. But I think people looking at you from the outside looking in would think, how can she be anxious? But it can happen to absolutely anybody, can't it?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with mental health disorders and panic attacks, panic disorder, is that you become really good at faking it. You become really good at lying, and essentially, and I think that's and being a parent makes you really good at that, because you want to be strong for your kids, and like 90% of being a parent is not telling the truth, and they don't know that yet. It's like I'm forever making out like I've got it all together, and I know exactly what I'm doing. And the truth is, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
I don't think anyone has.
No, exactly.
To be honest with you.
And I think we need to be more honest and speak about it and say, do you know what? I might look like I know what I'm doing, but I haven't got a clue. And I think that's where we need to talk about it more. And I think it's really important. And I do suffer. And I only had a panic attack maybe 5 weeks ago, and I was in bed for like 3 days. And the kids, sometimes it's easy just to lock the door and say, but the kids know, and it's hard. It's really hard sometimes.
It's hard, and that's again where the relationship works out with you. You've got your husband, and you've got that support and supportive family as well.
Yeah.
On a much happier note, you're thinking, well, if they came knocking at your door and said, you want to go in the jungle, would you go?
I'd be tempted.
Would you?
I'm not saying yes, but I would.
But you know you'd get lumbered with the cooking.
I know. See, I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with rice and beans, but there's something about being in the jungle that really excites me. And I grew up eating offal, so you know when they're eating,
they eat all the weird stuff. It wouldn't bother you.
It would not bother me. Blitz it up and stick it in a glass. I'll have it.
That'd be fine.
No
Be
problem.
absolutely fine. Strictly no. Strictly come dancing.
No. See, because I really, this, for me right now, like, I really love watching Strictly.
So do I.
And I love watching it with my niece and my sisters, and it's our thing on a Saturday night. And it would change for me. If I became a contestant, I would not become a spectator anymore. And
take the magic away.
It would, and I quite like the magic, you know?